Um, okay. Did you ever see this really old movie, Aliens?
Your powers are inconsequential compared to mine.
Yeah, but the kid's seen more movies.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I just had my meeting with YouTube. It was about 30 minutes. I was honestly a little nervous going into it because of the people that were on the call. I don't want to out anybody in particular, but it wasn't exactly, like entry-level employees. I was super nervous because I didn't have the faith in YouTube's ability to understand context and nuance. I did not have the faith, not because I didn't think they were capable, but because the sheer amount of videos that they have to go through makes it almost impossible for them to understand nuance and context, because we see this with the way videos are certainly monetized, that it's very unpredictable, and sometimes it feels totally random based on whether or not a video is green or yellow. And before I get into everything they said that I can share, I want to say a massive shout out to all of you for supporting me, all of you for sending the kind words, all of you for gathering all those archive receipts. Guess what? I used them all. You probably didn't notice, but a lot of tweets have been disappearing. A lot of people have been changing their ats. These are things that I can't really talk about, but they were extraordinarily helpful. I want to thank you all for backing me on Subscribestar. Subscribestar.com/thequartering is still the most powerful way you can support. We're at 95.8% of a big tier goal here, and we are 61.6% away from a massive tier goal. So if you're in the position to, the link is always in the pinned comment below. Please do consider backing me on Subscribestar. I've started working on the backer goals, or the backer perks and things like that are coming out in April, working on some platform specific videos, and I couldn't do it without your backing over here. So seriously, thank you. And please do consider keep supporting, because it keeps my stress levels down significantly. So without naming names or without going through every little grimy detail, essentially about 1 month ago, there was a tweet that was put out by somebody that was just awful in general. I called that tweet out. It was just a terrible tweet. This person is a brand ambassador, Twitch sponsored, blue check mark, all of the things that I thought would have qualified I would say a response from me. This wasn't just some nobody, right? And so I critiqued this post. What came next was an unbelievable amount of heinous lies, false flagging campaigns, and just terrible, awful humans being awful towards me for pointing out something very specific and terrible. Now, I've never, ever supported going after anybody in my videos or leaving, hateful comments on them. When I say that, it's not a CYA statement. I mean it. I don't condone that. And when that happens, that puts me in a position where I can't cover certain things. Because if I can't, if I can't expect my audience to not do that kind of thing, then it changes what I can cover, because ultimately I'm the one that's penalized. You saw many even a high-ranking YouTube employee publicly on Twitter saying that they were flagging my content and sending it up the river. Well, I can tell you this. Not one single video that I put out violated the rules. In fact, YouTube today actively acknowledged that they are aware of my good faith intentions of not wanting people to dogpile, which I thought was that was a very surprising revelation. They said, "Look, Jeremy, we like your channel. We like what you're doing. You're within all of the rules. In fact, we appreciate what you do to de-escalate or to lower the temperature on certain situations." And they realized and even gave me credit, knowing that I wasn't endorsing any type of bullying and that I did everything I could to stop it. And I have to say that I was genuinely shocked that they knew that. I didn't know. I didn't expect. In fact, there were multiple people on the call. One person on the call watches my content and content similar to what I make. That's their job. Like, it's their job to monitor what they would call, this silo of content that I make. And they even acknowledged to watching like specific videos of mine. So they clearly knew my content and knew who I was. And I wasn't expecting that. That was way above and beyond. There's actually someone who doesn't have, a political bias, who watches my content and is familiar with, they mentioned like my recent videos and recent guest appearances that I've done. So they know what I'm doing. And at no point in this call did they say anything I was doing was wrong. They said that they value my channel and my contributions. And given my influence, they wanted to cut through the noise to make things, to so that I would understand everything that was going on. The claims last month were that I was directly responsible for all sorts of terrible comments that were sent to a particularly small creator on this platform. They acknowledged that they did not believe that I was responsible for that, but that type of thing did exist on YouTube, where there were creators that did, bad faith kind of, encourage people to do that kind of stuff. And they're right about that. But in my particular case, they felt like, no, that's not a problem. So some of the questions I asked, by the way, huge W. Obviously, I'm still nervous and need your support, but just a huge dub, and my haters are going to really be angry about this one. I asked specifically about the paradox for content creators, the idea that you're responsible for your viewers. I said I already actively disavow it. I tell my viewers to not engage in that kind of stuff. What else can I possibly do? Is essentially what I said. By the way, the mood of the call was very cordial and positive. But this is a question that my fellow creators deal with when you're going to critique somebody. What else can I possibly do? And the fact of the matter was, their answer was not really anything else. They acknowledge that there's a portion of all viewership that is going to go off and do whatever it is that they want to do, regardless of what the creator says. They also said that, my viewers in my kind of silo of YouTube are particularly passionate and will often engage with content, both in positive and negative ways. And, as a creator, all you can really do is disavow that and try to avoid it. Now, there were some things, I don't think it's any secret that larger creators have to live by a different set of rules. It's just the way it is. It's how do you say? It comes with the territory. So some of the questions I asked, I already kind of knew the answers. The idea that, if you're a large creator, you have to pick your battles. Especially when it comes to a smaller creator. This is something that they fortified. This was my suspicion anyway. But essentially, if you're a large creator and you're going to put a small creator on blast, it better be a big deal. You know, it better be a big deal. Maybe not just a stupid tweet. You know, and that makes sense. Is it fair? No, I don't think so. I think as a content creator, I should be able to cover whatever I want, but that's not the world we live in. And the idea is when somebody with 1 million subscribers or 100,000 active viewers makes a video and points out a goof or a gaffe that you did, you know, regardless of what I say, a couple hundred people are going to go and give that person a hard time. And that if I'm going to, they didn't say, by the way, that there's any like specific cutoff of things that I could or couldn't cover. It's just they implied, in my opinion, like basically like, bro, if you're going to cover somebody with 800 subscribers, it better be real. Like it better be a serious issue. If it's just Twitter beef, you look petty. That's not their words. That's my my interpretation of it. And so I asked, what is the appropriate response for creators, especially when they're large? For example, people were saying, and I used the exact example, so people were saying I doxed this person. People were saying that I was, you know, doing all sorts of heinous stuff. What am I supposed to do? Not make a video? And the answer was basically, yeah. You know, the answer is basically, when you're a large creator, you really, you know, you got to pick your spots. You can't be responding to every, you know, car that drives by, which I understand. Again, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand and will live within those rules. That doesn't mean I'm not going to call out a creator if I think they've messed up. But I think what they're trying to say is like, bro, pick your battles. You know, and they're, by the way, they are aware of this kind of small group of people that flag everything I do. And they basically said, like, and they're right, like, dude, why? You know, like, why add more fuel to this fire? Just, you know, your viewers know that what they said isn't true. You don't need to make a big deal about it. And they're right. They're right. So, you know, I thought that the call, you know, as a summary, they said that in particular, this last escalation, I was accused of incentivizing like harassing comments and bad comments, of which they found none. In fact, they positively engaged with me and said, hey, we think you do a great job of, you know, making sure that you disavow these type of things. We don't think you ever encourage this type of thing. You're doing good. You're a valuable creator on our platform. We want to have you long term, and we want to see you grow. So overwhelmingly, seeming like a positive call. And I couldn't have done it without all of you. Obviously, the many archived statements and emails and stuff were very important to me. Very important in proving my case and fighting against, you know, false flagging and people that would be angry. So this is definitely going to get some saltiness flowing with some of my haters. But I knew that I didn't break any rules, and that was just confirmed today. Great overall conversation. I couldn't be happier for all of you, all of your support. Obviously, you never know. Tomorrow things could change. And again, I appreciate everyone who's backed me on Subscribestar. We're going to do some awesome things with new content and the quartering website and things like that. So definitely please keep backing there. Keep being awesome. And I appreciate you so much. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.